What is going on, everybody? Obviously, we are expecting a patch today. It is not out yet, but the developers were nice enough to give us a preview of some balance changes that are going to be coming when the patch drops later today. So that includes, a whole decent little meta shakeup in advance of the ranked ladder releasing. So let's go over some of those changes. We'll talk about how things could be affected by it, winners, losers, things like that. So first up, we have Lex Luthor, the leader. He's losing 1 point of health, going from 19 health down to 18. I actually like this change a lot over messing with his charges. I think a lot of people tend to underrate just how long 4 charges is in this game. So being able to get to the point where you get to 4 charges, Lex should be rewarded as a slower leader. And obviously you still need to destroy a friendly recruit to get those 2 cards, so it's not like it's free every turn. So I like adjusting his health over adjusting his ability. I think that's a very positive change as a whole. Next up, we've got Connor Hawk. He was a 1/6 with Hunter that got +1 attack for each action in your hand. He's now going to start at a 2/6, so just raising his floor a little bit. Now, if you have 2 actions in hand, getting a 4/6 with Hunter feels pretty solid. I think that should help his playability. I don't even know necessarily if he needed a boost, but I'm not going to be mad at him getting one. Next up, we've got Chip. This is probably the one people have been asking for the most. They wanted an adjustment to Green Lanterns, and an adjustment you did receive. Chip is now no longer free. He's going back to a bronze cost. He may pay bronze, so his ability activation is still the same. His ability as a whole is still the same. It's still +1/+1 in aura. Now, Chip is just a bronze that is a 2/3, so he can become a 3/4 with aura and buff another Green Lantern +1/+1. So I think what this will accomplish is Chip no longer being free will reduce the ceiling of the high roll while also keeping lanterns as a whole more powerful than they were previously in the old patches. So I'm curious to see how this plays out. I think lanterns will still be strong, they just won't have as much of a high roll, which I think should have been always the goal here. Next up, we've got Darla Dudley. She was a 2/1 with Flurry and Aura, and now she is a 3/1 with Flurry and Aura. That is strong. Aura can be tough, because a lot of the things that would remove Darla on turn 1, being your Batarangs, your Deimos, things like that, all of those would be ignored by the Aura, and she's still a 3/1, so that's a lot of damage that Darla could put out. That is going to be probably a quality card. I still don't know how much it'll break through, but its playability definitely went up a lot higher. Next, we've got Imbued with Lightning. This is the one that was this turn. Every time a friendly character attacks, shuffle 2 lightning bolts into your deck. Now, this being free makes it feel a lot better to play because, you can mess around with giving recruits Flurry, get additional lightning bolts. You still have to obviously pay the card, but I think making this free makes it a lot more likely to be experimented with. And I had already experimented with it a decent amount. So my experimentation is just going to only go up from here. Now, another one of the cards that was most commonly asked for to have changes done to it was Constantine, and we did get a change. Now, Constantine is going to start with Aura, and his ability reads, after you play a magical spell, give your recruits +1/+1. So no once per turn cap, however, he will not give other recruits Aura. So he still will be something a little bit difficult to get rid of, but he will not make the entire board impossible to get rid of, and probably will make things like Mass Arrest, Massacre, things like that get a little bit better, since now those can bounce everything back. I still think the Constantine combo is going to be quite strong. It'll just be slightly less impossible to answer when it pops off. Next up, we've got Liberty Bell. This is another one that surprised me. Going from a 3/1 to a 3/2. I thought Liberty Bell was already plenty playable. Getting that additional point of health means she can't be removed by your Bullocks and your Deimos and your Batarangs. That makes her a whole lot better. Liberty Bell, I think, is pushing that premium bronze area thereabouts with these changes. Next up, we've got Max Mercury. He was a 2/3 with Flurry. Now he is a 3/3. That is very strong. 3/3 is already pretty solid stats on a bronze. And he's got a keyword, so obviously it scales as you buff him. Max is going to be a card I expect to see a lot of experimentation. But a lot of those early Flurry recruits didn't really see play, so getting additional tiny buffs on them probably will push them into playability range. Now, we have a couple more crazy changes. First one here being Doomsday. That is the gold Doomsday recruit. First of all, his stats are remaining the same. He's a gold 10-4. But first of all, he's getting Hunter. So that's already insane. 10 attack Hunter is absolutely bonkers. And on top of that, now his parting shot, instead of just returning him to your hand, now each time he returns to your hand, he gets 2 additional power, which is crazy. Obviously, you're not going to really get to play Doomsday probably tons of times per game, but the additional power is already strong, but Hunter is insane. Now you can no longer just ignore the Doomsday on the board, because he can dive right at your leaders and take them out. That's going to be a very strong boost for Doomsday for sure. Then Mr. Mixed... I don't even know how to say that word. I'm going to say Mystics, but it's not the word. Mischief now says, replace your deck with random super rare and ultimate cards and draw a card. So it really just got the draw card treatment, which with these kind of fringe cards that don't actively do anything immediately, I think the draw card is kind of needed. We saw it helped Supersonic Sucker Punch a whole lot. This is still going to be probably a meme card, but it makes it a more doable meme. Now this might arguably be the biggest change, and definitely the most surprising change for me. The Joker Recruit, he was previously a gold card, and he never saw play despite him being a good card because inmates don't care about gold cards. But now, he has become a silver card, and his ability dropped by 1 damage and he lost 1 health. So he was a 6-4 that dealt 4 damage to a random enemy. I think it was just random enemy. Now he is a 6-3 silver that deals 3 damage to a random enemy leader. So Joker has become an absolutely bonkers card in Inmates. And as an attempt to bring Inmates down otherwise, Black Mask now says, after you deploy another Arkham Inmate, give your other Arkham Inmates +1/+1. So he no longer affects himself, but he got buffed to a 3-3 as well to compensate for no longer buffing himself. I don't even know if that's fully a nerf. It is a nerf in general on Black Mask, but like, him becoming a 3-3 makes it a slight nerf, and he can still activate multiple times per turn. But then on top of that, he got toned down a little bit, but Joker got ridiculously better, where I think as a whole, Inmates got net buffed. Feel free to tell me if you disagree, but I'm kind of feeling like they got buffed looking at those 2 changes in tandem. Especially with like the Green Lantern high roll slowing down a little bit. I think you're going to see Inmates even more, and maybe, obviously I think that Flash Doomsday deck I highlighted yesterday will see a lot of play. But Inmates might arguably be better now with Joker as a silver, so I'm very curious to see how that's going to turn out on the ladder once it releases today. But yeah, very, very interested to see how the meta shakes out after these changes. There's some big ones in here for sure. Definitely should be a interesting first couple days of Ranked Ladder. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. How do you think this is going to shake out in the meta? Do you agree that Inmates arguably got buffed? What do you all think? Let me know. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you to the developers, as always, for allowing us to cover these patch notes. They are incredible at supporting the community, so thank you so much. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.